welcome back to another episode of Wrestling Talking Kayfabe, the most casual wrestling podcast with some also UFC involvement. And today, story points are finally happening on Raw and Smackdown, which is good. But more importantly, CM Punk has won the undisputed title from Sami Zayn on Raw, which is not where that title is supposed to be, after Gunther took out Cody from his number one contendership spot. Clayton, what are your thoughts on this? Because I got
I
some
like it.
thoughts.
I like it. CM Punk, I'm not like the greatest or the biggest CM Punk fan in the world, but the thing about CM Punk is he will defend the title and we will get big matches that we've probably wanted with him. We are already, getting the Cody and Punk match because of this after fall. Sami Zayn I don't think he has it as a title holder. Sure, he's fun and quirky, I guess, chasing the title, but he's just not a title holder that I consider I don't know, main event. So I'm cool with it.
No, that makes a lot of sense. And since doing this podcast, I've realized, like the big thing I think you've donned my eyes onto is not everybody can hold the title. And, he got to win the title in Saudi, which is a big important thing for him, just because of his religion and everything. So to me, like, that's almost better than a hometown win for him, especially with that crowd, because they went off, they went crazy. It was a feel good moment. Also, everybody has just been kind of tired of this, like Cody, because they can't book him right since he's won it back. And the other thing is Punk's last run with the heavyweight title up until Roman Reigns was fantastic. He defended it regularly, kept involving himself in segments, was calling up like the upper mid card and even like some lower mid carders on his last time. Be like, any of these guys could come at me and like this is what I want to do and this is what I want to see. So to
Mhm.
me, I don't understand why people are upset. Yes, he took 3 months off, but his whole last promo was you never know when another title opportunity is going to come out. And is 9 days short? Yes, I'm not going to argue 9 days isn't short. But at the same time, like, what else do you want? He wasn't going to have a magical run till SummerSlam. That was never going to happen. It's,
No.
especially when you look at, like, the big news story now is SummerSlam tickets are doing abysmal. Like,
Real
and
bad.
we looked at the prices, and I think a couple weeks ago, and they went like $400 for both days in the nosebleeds.
Yeah.
And the booking's not there to demand $400 for both days in the nosebleeds. Like
Which
so,
is why we're getting Cody and Punk now.
yeah, which is why we're getting Cody and Punk. And SmackDown has been abysmal for the past year. This past I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a terrible product. Like I just don't watch it.
It's been pretty awful. So it just completely makes sense because you're not going to run back CM Punk and Roman Reigns. We did that. We're done with that. We probably won't ever see them go at it again in their entire careers, as they're both, I think, on the downward slope.
Yeah,
And so I think CM Punk switched to SmackDown to help that brand out is obvious.
yeah, he can
I
help.
like it.
Yeah, he can help that brand out. He can be a fighting champion. He's got some previous history with Gunther for last year in their SummerSlam thing, so that'll be a fun thing to run back eventually at some point. 'Cause also, I don't know what the hell you do with Gunther right now because like they tried putting Gunther in there and it just was like we had a Mario Kart banana peel just like slipping and falling. It's just like what is this?
Yeah, Gunther is going to do some stuff with Nick Aldis.
Oh
I
yeah,
think it's going to be a
100%.
fun little feud, and then he's going to come right back to whoever ends up having this title, whether it be CM Punk or Cody Rhodes. My assumption is CM Punk holds it a while
Hmm.
until probably I don't know, I wouldn't say WrestleMania, but I think he retains against Cody at SummerSlam
I could see like
and then holds it
Chamber,
until Money in the Bank or Chamber, something like that, which
Survivor
is
Series.
perfectly fine with me. I don't know if we're getting CM Punk being done after this. I don't think so. He kind of seems like he still has some gas in the tank and he seems like he's enjoying himself. So
Yeah, no, he came out. He looks jacked. Like he
he
looks,
does.
he looks better than he did when he was in the UFC doing those two fights in terms of like
And the
health
Punk
and.
and Sami Zayn match was very good.
Oh yeah, like that was a
I think Dave
banger
Meltzer gave it
match.
4.75 as well.
Yeah, like
which is basically like if it would have been on AEW, it would have been 5.5 stars. So like
Okay, I do have a quick question. How many, like, what does the star ratings go? Because I always thought it was like 1 through 5.
it is 1 through 5, and then he just got bored and started doing more one day.
Okay, okay, all right. So
Yeah.
he's yeah, like no, like you can't ask for more out of a Raw main event match than what we got on Monday. And like Raw was a solid episode. We only had 4 matches, which is kind of a problem. And I think that's like been the biggest problem I've been noticing with like the WWE product specifically this year is that the shows we were watching are slowly and slowly becoming less about the actual in-ring performance and more
Yeah.
about like everything else surrounding it, which seems odd for a wrestling show when like AEW is kind of like the exact opposite on
Well,
it.
that's always been the thing.
Well, I know they're a match company, but like for this one's like I know we want the stories to drama, but that has to be told in the ring. It's like what do you mean we only had 4 matches on Raw? At least they're bangers. Like when we get good matches, they're like right on there.
Yeah, we had because we then had the Street Profits won the tag titles, or sorry, the Vision won the tag titles back from the Street Profits. We got Maxine turning heel. Last week, I literally said that that storyline was dead and
I
she's
thought it was
not
dead
doing
too.
anything with them after they had their little beef. Maxine turned heel. She kissed Austin Theory.
So they're like a couple.
So,
Um,
yeah,
Real quick before we get into the street profits and the vision stuff, because I think that's a unique thing, and this is going to kind of tie back into it. I think honestly, what the biggest problem is right now in the WWE in terms of a product is you have one of the title pictures that is just completely consumed by somebody who is not there, and with Roman Reigns, and I think that's a bigger problem than a lot of people wanted to admit. Because everyone's just like, CM Hogan, CM Hogan, he's just taking everything. When literally on this podcast, was it 3 months ago, we were bitching about Sami Zayn's inserting himself in there, taking the title from Trick Williams. When like that didn't make any sense because we already had a story there. Meanwhile, Roman Reigns just isn't wrestling ever.
yeah,
Like the last time I looked up, last time he wrestled on Raw was in January of 2025. That's like a year and a half ago. So we have somebody with a title that just won't show up half the time to do promos. Like we had a meandering Seth Rollins promo that everybody hated until LA Knight showed up. So that to me, like that's what the biggest problem is like you have a large guy who's sucking up so much of the time and space to be about him and he doesn't show up.
mm,
And you can't make a good product around that. Nobody can work with that when you're not there.
yeah.
But,
But
which brings me back to kind of the Vision stuff because people are like, "Oh, why the Vision when the title's back?" It's like, well, we got to do something with them. Like, if they didn't win the tag titles back, at least get something going. And they're probably gonna implode. And clearly, we can't do that right now to make Braun Breakers be a single star. So we need to kind of revamp him. And this is at least interesting because we'll probably get a tag match with Chad Gable and Otis and Tozawa back in, so we'll get them back on there because they were seen like
yeah,
looking at the SUV when Maxine left.
yeah, I don't think Chad Gable gets involved in that. I think this is going to be a little small feud between just the Alpha Academy of, I think that's, or are they the other one? I don't know
They're
what those two
Alpha. They're
companies
formerly Alpha Academy. I think they're Alpha Babes, but
or Alpha Babes, yeah, whatever it is. It's just gonna be Tozawa and Otis getting some screen time. They're gonna mess with them for a little bit, and then I imagine we get a Bronson Reed comeback, maybe at the same. I don't know how much longer Logan Paul's gonna be hurt.
hmm
If it's like long term, but I could see them division imploding in a tag team sense of like Bronson Reed and Logan Paul getting together because they want the titles, but
oh, that
Theory
would be
and
interesting.
Breaker have them instead.
The only reason why I'm leaning more towards Chad Gable was just because of that promo and Maxine just saying she didn't forgive Chad Gable. So I feel like when Otis and them confront them, Chad might run in to save them, and we might get like a weird kind of
Yeah.
feud off. Because also we have, because okay, well I'm looking at our rundown here. We'll get
Like,
into.
I just don't see Chad Gable get like he's gonna be involved in this IC title thing. He's
Oh,
not
you
gonna
think
be
so?
involved in the tag thing. Yeah, like it's 100%.
Okay,
They're
interesting.
not gonna they just ran Chad Gable as a single star for so long and it was one of the best runs
That's
we've ever
true.
seen in El Grande Americano. Last thing they're gonna do is just throw him in. trio of a tag team.
That actually makes a lot of sense because I guess I was thinking about it just because of Rusev tapping out like Dragon Lee, Chad Gable, and Joe Hendry in that tag match that night. So it's like, well, as much as I think Chad Gable should get an IC title shot and run after what he did with the Americano storyline, I'm not sure if they're gonna take it off Penta yet. So to me, this seems like a consolation prize for him to kind of do down the road, if that makes sense.
Well, we got Pinto winning it. Whoa, when did he win that title? Because he defended it at Mania, right?
Yeah, he did that ladder match there. I think he won it off of Dom whenever it was right after Elimination Chamber because that's when Danhausen
Yeah,
cursed.
Pinto's dropping this title to Chad Gable at SummerSlam.
Oh,
This
interesting.
is very clear. Yeah, it's the IC title. They aren't going to hold it. I mean, Gunther, I know, had that like 600-day
2 years.
reign, which I just think that's stupid with the IC title. That's a worker's title. Like,
That's fair.
it should be switching back and forth. Pinta's had his run. I I mean, Pinto will probably just be stuck in the IC verse for a while, even after he
Hmm.
loses it. But that's just how these wrestling shows go at the mid card. You get stuck in the IC verse because you're not a main card person.
No, that
And
makes
looking at
sense.
the IC title, the only people that I see moving up to the main card soon is maybe Javon, but that's just solely because of Paul Heyman's comments on the podcast.
Yeah, I guess I was looking. Let's talk about that because that got announced. Is we have a number one gauntlet match for the IC title. So we have Gable, Dom, Ethan Page, Rusev, Javon Evans, Joe Hendry, and Dragon Lee. So I think my favorites for that one are probably Javon, Page, and Gable.
Yeah.
Maybe Rusev, because Rusev they've been making Rusev seem like a monster again, which good. We need a monster person kind of in the mid card. But they've already done Ethan Page and Penta. They
Yeah.
haven't really done Javon and Penta, but Javon should be going up to the main scene, so I don't know if they're going to try to put an icy strap on him real quick. But Gable, to me, makes the most sense, and in my opinion, is the one who deserves it. I'm not disagreeing with you there, but the booking
Yeah.
doesn't make a lot of sense a lot of the time for what we
I
want.
mean, I think this booking makes complete sense for the IC title. I think they've done great with it. Chad Gable is definitely the next guy.
No, what I'm saying, like the people who book the matches and the storylines don't always align with kind of what we're thinking and doing, especially with like the
Yeah.
U.S. title and everything. So just because I've been
Yeah.
burned on that, but I'm not disagreeing with you that Gable should get it.
Yeah. I would bet my life that Chad Gable and Penta have a SummerSlam match.
That's fair. You don't think that one's gonna be on Saturday night's main event?
No.
No, that's
No.
fair.
Unless did they specifically announce this gauntlet match was for Saturday
They
night's main
just said it
event?
was a number one contenders match.
Yeah. I'm
So
gonna assume this is for SummerSlam. And
yeah,
it's gonna be Chad Gable and
because
Penta. And if it's not Chad Gable that wins this, then I think whoever wins this is gonna face Penta on Saturday night main event. Penta retains, and then we'll get to Gable
oh,
on SummerSlam.
that actually makes a lot of sense. Because
Like
gauntlet
I
matches are like you have to pin people in a row and like
Yeah,
just
and
people.
gauntlet matches are a good way for someone who's not supposed to win
Mm,
in a sense. That's an easy way to get a favorite out because the favorite will start out and he'll beat 5 people. That's probably what we're gonna get. We're gonna have Chad Gable start out with like Dragon Lee, is what I guarantee. Chad Gable's pins Dragon Lee, he pins Joe Hendry, he pins Javon, he pins Rusev, he pins Ethan Page, and then Dom comes out and does something shady and he wins.
okay,
Because that's how you make Chad Gable still look like a monster.
I mean that's what they
But
did.
then you get to
That's what they did with CM Punk and Braun Breaker last year for the number one contender for the
yeah,
heavyweight title going into SummerSlam.
exactly. Yeah, they do that a lot just to keep someone strong. But then I actually, yeah, this could end up just being like Dom and Penta at Saturday night's main event with Penta retaining.
See, I guess that's like the thing that I'm trying to figure out is like, do they want Penta to have the IC title going into the AAA triple mania in a
When is
few?
that?
That's in September, and so that's why I'm
Okay, I
thinking.
don't think he will be.
Well, that's a big enough show, and I know Dom's right now in a storyline with El Grande Americano because they're doing a tag team match against Los Perros del Mar.
Mhm.
because they've been attacking El Grande, and Dom was like, "Well, El Grande, if you want to like save yourself and actually be able to fight for this title, we got to stop the Los Perros del Mal because they're going to injure you, and then you won't be able to survive to like get this." So to me, I don't think Dom's going to win it just because of that, because he'll have like AAA stuff going on.
Yeah,
So
I'm not even necessarily Dom. I'm just saying Gable's gonna have a run, and then someone's gonna just snatch it at the end. I mean,
that's
that could even we could
it
flip
could
the
even
roles of what I said between Dragon Lee and Dom. Like Dom could start out get pinned by Chad Gable. He pins everybody, and then Dragon Lee swoops in and gets it at the very end.
or Rusev or
Or Rusev,
Javon.
Javon, Joe Hendry. Yeah, any of them. I just think that's what's gonna happen. Or if Chad Gables does just beast through it, he wins it, then it's gonna be the SummerSlam match, and they'll skip Saturday night's main event.
That's a good point. I think you're right on that there.
'Cause there's no chance in hell Chad Gable isn't at SummerSlam.
Oh, it's in
Following year,
Minnesota.
El Grande Americano. Oh, is he from Minnesota as
Yeah, he's
well?
from Minnesota.
Okay, so yeah, obvious. Yeah, so he's definitely going to be facing for the IC title at SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's just an easy, especially like we were just saying. We got to sell tickets. Let's get a hometown hero. Either he's got the title going in and he's defending it, or he's gonna win it there. And I think that's an
Yeah,
easy slam dunk.
yeah, and that same with the hometown thing is he'll win it there because it's more of a pop than him just defending it there.
Exactly.
I don't think they would give it to him before.
Speaking of IC titles, we had some stuff happening in the women's IC picture here.
Mm.
So we got Sol Ruka. She defended against Raquel with Judgment Day and EO run-ins. I mean, it was to be expected. The Judgment Day was trying to cost her, and then Sol actually hit a Snow Snatcher clean for once. That was not botched. So that was good to see her kind of move up and progress.
Well, I
Uh,
mean, the botches have been the other person every time. It
uh,
hasn't been her.
oh
They
well,
don't know how to take this the move at all.
no, that's true.
NXT, that move was clean
That's true.
because they all knew how to take a bump.
That's true. And Raquel's a fucking great worker.
Mhm.
So I am curious what they're gonna do with Raquel and everything, because my opinion, I don't think Io's gonna win at SummerSlam, which I know we're getting a little bit into
I don't
predictions
think
here.
so either. Yeah.
Because like what, you're just gonna have the Judgment Day implode in SummerSlam, you still got Dom doing his like mega campione thing down in Triple H. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And it could just be like the girls of Judgment Day implode and
Mm.
Dom stays by Liv's side. But I don't know. I think this just ends up running back into Raquel and Soul rematching.
I could see that. That would actually be a fun trilogy, you
And
know.
whether that be at Saturday night's main event or SummerSlam, I don't know. Probably that's one of my Saturday night main event predictions
Mm-hmm.
is them running that back because we do only have the one women's match right now
Yeah. Well, no, we got two. We got two. No, no, you're
at
right. We only
Saturday
have one.
nights.
We only
No,
got one.
yeah,
The other thing that happened, which I think is going to be Saturday night's main event match, is Bailey's did a video vignette of just being sad about Smacky Brown Lyra, or if you've ever seen the movie Train Spotting Lyra. She just looked like a straight up drug addict, like we were talking about last week.
Mm,
She's like, Lyra betrayed me and all this stuff. So I feel like they got to blow this off soon, with a match.
yeah.
And
That'll probably be I imagine a SummerSlam feud with a stipulation.
see, that's a good one. But see, I was thinking Lyra was gonna go be inserted into the IC title with Sol Ruka, because that would be a fun like heel versus face kind of match.
Well,
It
you still have to finish Bailey and Lyra
Well, I'm saying you
first.
do that at Saturday Night's main event. Move
Oh,
Lyra to there, maybe like a triple threat, or because
oh.
we.
I don't think they'll pay it off that quick. I think they're
Uh,
gonna build with packages. They're gonna have some
that's
promos and
true. WWE moves at the pace of snails.
well, I mean, I don't think a Bailey and Lyra match at Saturday Night Main Event would mean anything to
No,
me. A
that's
regular
true.
match between them at Saturday Night Main Event and next weekend with no build up, that sounds horrendous to me.
That's that. You know what? You're right on that. I think
Like
you're.
you say a pace of a snail, but like you still have to build up a little bit. We only got until what is SummerSlam August 2nd?
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
it's
only like
first and
3 weeks.
second. So.
Yeah, that's only a few weeks away. Like,
Oh, we still got time.
yeah, they should absolutely build this because you can't have every person be I've talked about this before. Every person can't be in a title picture.
No,
You
that's fair.
have to have feuds that are outside of title
That's
pictures.
a good one.
And this is the potential to be, two very good wrestlers, two very good workers. One out two of them are very good at promos. I think this has potential to be a great feud without a title. So putting
Okay.
Lyra into the IC title immediately would be a shame.
You know what? I agree with you there because then we gotta reestablish her Lyra as a heel, and if we can like build her up a little bit as like a menacing heel
Yeah, and she's
before she
done
gets a.
nothing for a title shot. I mean, in
That's true.
kayfabe, like
That's
in
true.
the real world, obviously done a lot of work, and she probably deserves that title back. But in kayfabe, it hasn't like theoretically done anything. All they've done is them to lose every title or tag match that they were in, which
And I think she
legally
lost
entered.
it to Soul already, so you're right. I am wrong here, which I'm not afraid to admit. All right, last thing we got to talk about with Raw here is this Seth Rollins promo. I threw it on while I was making dinner after jujitsu because it's usually when I watch my wrestling stuff, and I understood the point of the promo, but everybody was not very happy with it because it was like a 20-minute promo until LA Knight cut in. Do you want to give your thoughts since you paid a bit more attention to it than I did?
I it was such I don't know, like it's one of those I kind of already like forgot what he was even yapping about at this
It
point.
was
Like it
like
was just
I Roman had everything that I wanted, and Roman just doesn't get to do anything and makes
it
10
felt like
times
a
the
very
money.
AI generated promo.
There's been
Like
a lot of
it,
that recently, which we'll talk
like
about
it
that
felt
in
like they put
SmackDown.
in a prompt. They're like, get squirmy heel mad at guy who used to be best friends with. And that's what that promo felt like.
You know what? They have been using a lot of AI, especially with the whole Minabota, which I'm assuming
Yeah, Minabota.
Minabota, and then Baron Corbin debuted on SmackDown, and his like gauntlet shirt that you could buy has like a thumbnail on like
Oh
the
God, I haven't
gauntlet.
even seen that.
Yeah, dude, it's well. I'll have you pull that up, since I'm recording, and you can take a look at that. But LA Knight did come in, and I think LA Knight made some like valid points to just like, brother, hey, brother, I gotta do this, brother. We gotta get the same haircut, brother. So I feel like that definitely helped him get a pop, and everybody. Well, LA Knight's a fan favorite with the hardcores. Do I think he's ever gonna get a title? I mean, if Sami Zayn can get a title, LA Knight can get a title at this
He'll
point.
get a one off.
He'll get a. Do you think it's shorter or longer?
Longer.
Longer,
He's a little
because
more respected, I think.
I mean, that's true.
I
Um,
think I still see Money in the Bank LA Knight. I know a lot of people have hopped off that train, but I think I'm still like I was hopped off it for a bit, but I think I'm back on it maybe. It
here's
really depends on Roman Reigns.
that's
Which I
my
know like shouldn't go hand in hand at all, but like it does.
It really does because we have our SmackDown or the undisputed. The title names I really struggle with when it comes to like the big ones because they keep changing them all the time. Like the United States title is very simple, Intercontinental title is very simple, but like the World Heavyweight and then the undisputed has been the Universal has been
I just
something
call them
else.
main card titles every time because
Main,
I also get
well,
confused.
well, the SmackDown main card title picture I feel like is very established with who's there and who can come up
Mhm.
and who can kind of enter versus like the heavy the Raw main title is just the Roman vortex and who can enter the Roman vortex.
Who's
And
allowed?
yes. Now the one thing that did happen on SmackDown, which I think is relevant to bring up now, is that Jacob Fatu was like, Solo, you better get your ass to SmackDown to Raw on Monday to acknowledge the tribal chief, or else we're gonna have problems. Now, because of that, I don't think this story necessitates the title anymore. I know it's going to be on there, but I think what makes the most sense in terms of booking, Seth takes it off Roman. You have Seth lose to LA Knight. LA Knight beats Oba Femi. You can have Oba be a champion into SummerSlam. And I think to make the product be enjoyable for the next like 6 months until we get into Mania season, to me that makes the most sense to like actually have people like tune in and watch in.
No, I fully agree. The Bloodline shouldn't need a title. This whole storyline, but Roman Reigns is going to demand it.
But which I was
It's
bitching
annoying.
about earlier. It's just like he doesn't show up and have matches. And
Yeah.
then people are
I
just
mean,
mad that Seth
this is the
gets.
guy that they once made a new title because he wouldn't show up. So,
I mean, and then people bitch about Punk. Late Punk shows up. When he is
yeah.
there, he is there every night.
Punk is down to have a title match every Friday night.
Yeah. He will have matches on pay-per-views that he already knows that like don't really mean anything, like with Finn Balor and like that, and giving people extra shots. Like he defended it, I think, 3 times on Raw, the main
Yeah.
title, in his like very short reign.
Mm.
So
Yeah. But so I see LA Knight. I see him winning Money in the Bank if, say, like a guy like Seth Rollins is the title holder.
oh yeah,
But I don't see him winning Money in the Bank if the guy like
it's
Roman
Roman.
Reigns is the title holder. Then it's just I don't know who it's gonna be. Then it's just gonna be like they're gonna do Solo Sikoa or another one of the Bloodline members. Jey Uso's gonna win it, or and then he's gonna see the way they can make it a little interesting is if Jey Uso did win a Money in the Bank, and then
That
he's
would
like,
be.
"Yeah, of course I'm gonna go." I hate on pitching Jey Uso winning Money in the Bank, but Jey Uso winning Money in the Bank and being like, "Of course I'm gonna go fight CM Punk," assuming he's still the guy then. And I'm gonna cash in on CM Punk, and then he actually cashes in on Roman when Roman's
Oh,
like hurt after fighting, say, an Obafemi or something.
that would be good. That would be a good moment. Because one thing that makes me think, because we've moved Money in the Bank now, Money in the Bank and Survivor Series are back to back
Yeah, which is weird
PLEs.
still.
It's
I'm not
very
okay with
weird.
that.
So to me, I feel like we're gonna get a cash in a Survivor Series, which
You think?
normally, because I'm thinking about like the teams and stuff here, because like, you know,
That would be a good opportunity to cash in a sense. Because yeah, if you do have the main card, the main card title holder spearhead a team, and then like they pick the Money in the Bank person, and then like at the end he cashes it in, blah blah blah. Like I don't know, but
it's interesting.
I like Money in the Bank being like a WrestleMania moment. I
I
really like that.
I do too, but the rumors mill. The reason why I don't think it's gonna be a WrestleMania moment, as much as I would love it to be, because they want to have The Rock. Saudis want to have The Rock at WrestleMania next year, and the only person The Rock's going to face that makes any goddamn sense is Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So either that cash in is going to be mean nothing because Roman's just going to successfully defend it, or it's going to be involved in the SmackDown main title, which it doesn't really need. We don't
Yeah.
need a cash in there.
Well, I mean, this is also in October,
That's
so
true.
you don't know that.
You know what?
But
That's a very good point. I do not know that. Um,
good need it then. We're getting a bit ahead of ourselves, I
we
guess.
are.
But yeah, I don't know. I think LA Knight is just stuck in the. I mean, he's just stuck in the
Upper
area that he is.
He's in like the lower main card of just Raw, which
He
arguably
needs
is,
people to retire.
yes, it's like the almost as bad as the Wepaverse.
Yeah, because it's not. He's like past the point. You're not going to put him in the IC title area.
No, he's too big. He's
Yeah,
already
it's
done a bunch
stupid.
of like mid card
It's
titles
boring.
with US title.
Of course, he can win an IC title. We all know that.
Yeah, that's not interesting.
I don't want to watch LA Knight beat Penta for the IC title or anything like that. That would
No.
suck.
Plus, he's been like all his most feuds from the past like 2 years are all in the main event. He fucking hates the division. He hates the bloodline.
Yeah.
So he's like this wild card that
I'm
they
trying
aren't
to think of who to
utilizing.
compare him to, but I'm having a hard time doing it.
He kind of like Sam. I know everybody keeps comparing like Sami Zayn to Mick Foley, but I feel like LA Knight's kind of like not like character wise they're not similar, but like in terms of like worker, like you can get like some good spots and like stuff like that and everything, and beloved by the fans. He feels to me more like a Mick Foley than Sami Zayn does.
Never given him the title. Yeah, I don't know.
Um,
Um, but I think we very well covered Raw
we
there.
have. We're gonna talk transitioning now. I've been getting into AEW a little bit. I went to a show. There was a show down here at Albuquerque where they did Collision and Dynamite back to back. My one buddy's very into AEW because he likes Will Ospreay a lot. So after watching it, I was like, oh, This is pretty good. It's kind of a nice like palate cleanser from just kind of like the bloodline shenanigans of WWE. So I've been getting into that, and we actually had a ton of shit happen this past week on AEW. So Kenny Omega won the title from MJF with like Will Ospreay kind of interfering at the end, and there's a stipulation that if MJF beat Kenny Omega, that Kenny Omega could never challenge for the AEW World Title like ever again. So there was a lot of stakes going into this. I thought that MJF was going to win because MJF has been like just defending this a lot on like main card stuff, and he's like the big like young worker guy. I would say he's probably the biggest non WWE wrestler that has had no ties to the WWE, and he kind of wants to keep it that way. There was a crazy spot where MJF low blowed Kenny Omega, hit him with the title, and then he went for the cover, and Kenny Omega kicked out at one. It was just like
Damn.
what? So that was pretty funny.
Yeah, Kenny Omega's got one of those like Cody Rhodes auras where like he can just kind of go like Goku and like not lose.
He did have that. They had some crazy spots where MJF did like a pile driver onto a chair and then like hurt his knee. And then Will Ospreay kind of got involved at the end, and like because MJF has this like diamond ring punch finisher and stole the ring, so we're just kind of setting up Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay at All In Wembley, assuming MJF doesn't win it back, which will be like
So you
really.
get a triple threat there.
Yeah, it's very possible you could get a triple threat because we got like another pay per view before All In, because All In isn't until the end of August this year. So,
Yeah.
my big thing is if for this podcast, if you've been struggling with like Raw or SmackDown, and you're just like, I just want to watch matches that are just fun, cool spots. Check out Dynamite. It's 2 hour show, so it's very like short and clean. So if you already have like HBO Max, you can just watch that playback with no commercials. Definitely worth your time is my recommendation there.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But moving on, we're getting into SmackDown. SmackDown. So
Very, very vanilla SmackDown this week,
yeah,
as
it seems like
usual.
they just keep loading up their weekly shows all on Raw, which is fine because I'm more of a Raw guy anyway. And then SmackDown is just kind of like the Peanuts episode.
I wonder how much longer that contract with
USA.
USA Network is.
That's a good question because Peacock or NBC still owns the rights to Saturday Night's Main Event. And I don't know
Yeah,
how long that's going to be. And I think they're definitely, I feel like, trying to load up their other show. Because internationally, Netflix has everything.
it's until 2029.
Oh, God.
Yeah, because I was getting ready to say it feels like that they want SmackDown to be dull until it's on Netflix, but I'm
Or
probably wrong
ESPN.
about that. I think they just, I think they might just suck at booking.
Well, everyone was bitching about how Road Dogg couldn't book, and like, goddamn, Road Dogg was the only thing keeping that fucking ship together.
Apparently, yeah, because then you hear like all these ideas he came out with afterwards, and they're like, "Fuck, it's kind of a good idea. Why did no one run with that?"
He was one who wanted to get Kit Wilson over.
Hmm.
Um, but people were bitching because we were pretty much just doing the main title of just main eventer just goes, I want a title shot. I deserve a title shot because I'm the main eventer. Fuck you. And there's the guy with the head. I was like, all right,
Yeah, but
bet,
did
let's do
Cody
it.
do a number one contenders match or anything? Like, come on,
I
like,
mean, I will say, to be fair, at least to Cody, he did have a number one contendership that he won.
did he?
Yeah, because the week
Oh,
before on Friday Night SmackDown last week, he beat Jey Uso, and he was
I
supposed to face Sammy, which is what
yeah,
gets
yeah. I guess it didn't get cashed in technically.
yeah.
So
So
okay,
that to me is like, all right, there's at least an excuse there,
yeah,
and
I'll give that one to him. All right, I'll give it to him.
this is less. Hey, brother, this is the American. That's not going to work for the American Nightmare.
Gonna work for the American Nightmare. I fucking love Cody Rhodes, but goddamn, sometimes I'm just like, I remember telling you this. I mean, probably 10 podcasts ago. I was like, we were talking about something. I was like, that's the thing about Cody Rhodes. They're just gonna give him a title shot every time.
I
They're just
mean,
gonna give it to him.
like, listen, it's Cody Rhodes. if there's anybody who can just, there's like four people that can just walk in and demand title shots whenever. It's
And the
Roman
one is,
Reigns,
yeah,
CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Cody Rhodes.
I think that's probably the only four left at this point. Yeah.
Yes. And, the one thing that I know we skimmed over in the Seth Rollins thing that he's been mentioning his promos, he's like, there's a new generation coming. So I will say, this SummerSlam does feel like the swan song of just,
This
let's,
feels like WrestleMania.
yeah,
It feels like they're building up to WrestleMania. We talked about this probably 4 or 5 podcasts ago, where WrestleMania feels like their Super Bowl for ads,
mm,
while SummerSlam is the Super Bowl for fans
yeah.
at this point.
Now, this still remains to be seen because we have the match booking has still been very questionable. The tickets are dog shit right now. But, we at least have matches we want to see, like Cody and Punk. We've never seen that before. That'll be great. Seth and Roman, that's blowing off a years long feud. That'll be great. Brock and Oba, Hell in a Cell. That should be fantastic. Liv and
That should be
Io.
night 2 main event, but they fucking hate us. And then it's gonna be Roman Reigns.
Oh, yeah. Do you think the man with the biggest fucking
No,
ego?
no, he's gonna demand that it's night 2 main event, even though clearly Oba and Brock should be night 2 main event.
Yes. I
Which,
com-
granted, I mean, I guess I get Brock and Oba quicker, so I won't be mad because that'll be
that's
night 1 main event.
That's
But
true. And like Liv and Io should be a banger match. It was a good
yeah,
match besides the whole curse shenanigans.
yeah, if they bring out Danhausen again before this match, it's actually gonna piss me off.
See, what I'm thinking is going to happen, because I know we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here. I think they get uncursed at the Knicks game or the Saturday night's main event, and then that will give Liv the reason to be like, all right, this is why I beat you clean this time. I wasn't cursed. I wasn't hamstring strung, and then we can get there because I don't. Io doesn't need the title in my opinion, and Liv has not defended it yet. So this is
Yeah,
her first defense.
I don't know. I felt like Io should move to SmackDown. She should have gotten involved in that, but that's how
Honestly,
I also like this.
I think after
Great.
the alleged injuries to two of your big main eventers, which in Alexa Bliss and Rhea Ripley, I think it makes total sense for you to go to SmackDown.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm also kind of annoyed with SmackDown that Rhea didn't relinquish the title.
I think like we were talking about where we're trying to make this WrestleMania, they are just praying to God she can get cleared in time. And I think
Yeah,
that's what they're waiting on and why she hasn't relinquished. They're gonna wait till the very last second.
yeah, you're probably very right. Um, it's so annoying because it's like,
I mean,
what we should have done is had her relinquish it last Friday. We should have done something this Friday for it, like some kind of gauntlet match or
mhm.
something. Put it on somebody. I mean, fuck, this is where you could put it on somebody random as fuck and like be like, holy shit, they got a title. Like, make it a fucking gauntlet match or make it a 20-woman battle royale. Final 3 comes down
Do
to
you think Andre the
Jade
Giant Batter,
Cargill, fucking Chelsea Green, and
Blake
Jordan
Monroe?
Grace. And then Jade Cargill and Jordan Grace are off the side, like scuffling, and Chelsea just squirms on over and just flips them both over, and she wins the title.
Yeah, see, that would be perfect. This
And then
is,
just fuck around with it for a few weeks. Like, I don't know. Like,
I
but
think,
instead, we just have it in purgatory of literally not being able to be used.
yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I think the big issue of why it's not is we need to sell tickets. We need to sell tickets for SummerSlam,
Yeah.
and Rhea is
But
the
that's
third biggest wrestler right now.
Yeah, but that's where they get it wrong. That's what I'm saying is like put it on somebody else right now so that you can build story in case it's not her
No,
instead of relinquishing it right before SummerSlam and then being like, well, we're gonna have Jaden Charlotte for the women's title at SummerSlam
I
instead.
mean,
Like,
they were setting that up this week because they did the trope where face gets held back by the henchman of the heel, and the heel
yeah,
just beats the shit out of their friend, which is what happened to Alexa, and then watches and everything. So
but
that's my pick for this title. Is we get Jade and Charlotte, and they just need to announce
yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly. And they should have just had Rhea relinquish it, and then, like I said, have somebody fuck around with it, have someone take it off her, and then at SummerSlam run Jade and Charlotte. But if Rhea gets cleared in time, have her come back right before SummerSlam and be like, actually, it's a triple threat because I'm back and I didn't lose my title.
That's
Bam,
true.
solved.
See,
Then you get Rhea at
that makes
SummerSlam.
way more sense. You know, like
But instead, we're gonna sit here, and then she's gonna be hurt until, and then they're gonna be like, "Oh fuck!" And then it's just gonna be Jade and
fuck,
Charlotte
fuck,
for
fuck,
at
fuck, fuck.
SummerSlam, and with no build, and no one's gonna give a shit about the match.
I think you're right there. Speaking of
That's how you sell tickets, not just throwing shit at the wall with your biggest names and hoping it sticks.
speaking of throwing shit at the wall with random big names, we got to talk about this. So we had Trick Willie versus Camelo Hayes, and that was my SummerSlam prediction match for the United States title. Like, you know, Trick Williams
Yeah, should have been.
doing great. He's got a great mid card run. You know, he's got his own custom United States title that's just with fur. I think it's hilarious.
I thought it's awesome. Lil
Yeah,
Yachty's doing a great job.
yeah. That is what the mid card of SmackDown needs to make him be like super megastar. And Carmelo Hayes, perfect person. Why the fuck for the fourth time this is the third person to get involved to fucking screw over Carmelo Hayes with this goddamn title.
I don't know what Carmelo Hayes has to do, man.
And like I'm not very familiar with Baron Corbin. He was before my time. I've watched like a couple old WrestleManias when he was like Happy Corbin, and I watched this one like promo when Vince was still running it, and he's just like, I got a bunch of gambling debts and I'm just down on my luck and I'm wearing a fedora. So he just comes out of nowhere, drops Camelo on the top rope so he smashes his nuts, and then it's a DQ match. So I'm just like, and then he's got this AI shirt just where it's set with like a
Yeah, I couldn't
medieval
find it.
gauntlet. If you go on the WWE shop and type in Baron Corbin, you'll see
Oh,
it.
okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
And then while you do that, I'll explain it. And it just says Nomad. No introduction, just like him running down. He just popped out of nowhere. It's like, oh, Baron Corbin's back. And I'm like, the fuck are we doing here? Because like I know he'd been rumored to come back for a little bit, which also brings us to another question, which I didn't get to put in our rundown. Who the fuck is in the cloning machine? Or is that storyline just gonna die now?
I'm so fucking tired of it already. I told you this is exactly gonna fucking happen. Yeah, that isn't just fingernail on a glove. Okay. Anyways, that's stupid. I told you this was gonna happen. I literally told. I knew this was gonna happen. They were gonna beat the dead fucking horse out of this, and
Just like the
now we
fucking
don't care. I don't
box.
care who's in this fucking clone machine. I don't give a shit unless it's fucking Andre the Giant. I am not.
Andre the Giant's in the cloning machine. Jesus Christ.
Unless they actually cloned Andre the Giant and brought him back to life. Then I just
Oh,
don't care.
oh my god, I gotta catch my breath on that one. That's a good one. Um,
It's pissing me off.
I mean, it's
I don't.
pissing.
Yeah, I don't get Baron Corbin either, though. Like, I don't like. Why have him interfere in this match? Because now Trick and Baron Corbin are 100% having a match at Saturday Night Main Event, and Baron Corbin is 100% winning.
You think so?
You don't just debut somebody like this in the middle of this title feud, and if they give him a shot, he's gonna win it. Because you don't
Okay.
just like re-debut someone and then have them lose, right? Like I don't. That's how I feel.
Okay. I'm seeing what like
Why they sign
championships he's won real quick. Okay, so he's never won a primary championship match, but he's won Money in the Bank and he won the King of the Ring in 2019.
Yeah.
So, and I think he retired Kurt Angle. So yeah, you're right. He's
He's
100.
probably winning this title at Saturday Night Main Event because they immediately inserted him into it. I don't know, unless they do a triple threat with Baron Corbin and Carmelo Hayes, and then I would be fine with that. But I don't want Baron Corbin just winning this title.
Yeah, because like also where the hell has Ilya been?
Yeah, I guess he's just taking time off.
Yeah, him and like Shinsuke are just kind of stuck in like, hey man,
I don't think Shinsuke's just there for a paycheck. That man don't even give a shit if he has a title.
He's like, I will.
That's the way
Speaking
it
of
is.
paychecks and restructuring, he's like, all right, I'll restructure my deal, but guess what? I am not showing up ever.
Yeah.
Because they told Sheamus they wanted Sheamus to restructure his deal, and then they said, all right, peace out, I'm leaving. And I'm just
Yeah,
like,
he said no.
which is sad that his. I mean, no, at least his last match was a good one, a memorable one,
Oh
which was
yeah.
like the triple the triple
Mm,
trios match with him, John Cena, and Rey Mysterio versus the Judgment Day. Great
mhm.
match. But speaking of just random things that kind of make no sense, Jimmy Uso just beat Royce Keys clean with no interference, and then Fatu just showed up to get Solo's ass in line. Hans.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna do anything with Royce Keys
I don't know either. It just seemed like they just wanted to steal
unless
talent
he's
from.
getting involved in bloodline shenanigans.
He is
But
so
it didn't. I don't know. It kind of just seemed like that he was there. Jimmy was just kind of just there to teach him a lesson. Don't talk about the bloodline. And then they like for a second I thought he was about to align, and then Fatu beat his ass.
yes. Well, I know him and Fatu actually have history from being in the Indies together. Like they go way back.
Yeah.
And that was like
Okay.
a thing they brought. I was like, man, I've been your ride or die for like 14 years. You know, family isn't bound by blood, it's bound by loyalty, and I've been more loyal to you than any of these fools. And like,
Yeah.
so he's just stuck in bloodline hell, I feel like.
Yeah. He might be. I don't know
Um,
what they're doing with him.
I don't know either. And then like
He's
that.
also I don't. He's kind of been a disappointment to me as it is. I don't think he's very charismatic at all.
No, especially after how they hyped him up because they try to give him like a
Mm-hmm.
semi-Oba treatment with all these like promos and stuff like that. And like he's a good
Mm-hmm.
worker. I watch some of his like AEW stuff because I'll throw in like a couple like all-ins just when I'm like
They
cleaning.
did make him go to NXT, which is a really big deal.
Yeah, and they didn't do that, which they made. I mean, they made Ricky Saints do that, and they made a bunch
They
of other.
made Blake Monroe do that.
Yeah, so I think also based off the night, Penn Balor got a win on Tamatonga, which is the short one. I had to put that in our notes so I could keep it together.
Yeah.
And Balor got a dub. So to me, I feel like we're getting the end of the MFTs, if you want my honest opinion, based off of kind of
Yeah,
everything that's
I
been
think
happening.
so.
So we can just have more bloodline
Which
bullshit.
I thought they didn't the MFTs already turn on Solo?
No, they were like kind of turning on him, and then JC Mateo, and then another one got cut, and then
Yeah,
they,
but I think didn't like last SmackDown, didn't they kind of just they told Solo to piss off
yeah, I think so a
recently?
little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
I didn't watch
It was kind
SmackDown.
of I think it was kind of the dead of it anyways. I think we're just at Tama and Tala as a tag team now.
Yeah,
I don't know
which
though.
yeah, that's a thing. So we started off the week strong in wrestling. There was a lot of interesting discourse, and then we just kind of petered out. Oh, we forgot to talk about. So then SmackDown didn't end with a match. It just kind of ended with
Yeah.
Gunnar attacking Aldis, and then Cody ran in, and then they announced we're gonna have a tag team match with Sammy and Gunther versus Punk and Cody.
I don't know if they purposely mistimed this though, but the show definitely ended early before they announced everything
Oh, really?
on US TV. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I didn't catch it
Yeah.
because I was at jujitsu, so
The ending was like the show ended with Cody Rhodes running out.
well, that's just stupid as hell.
Mm. And then like if you go to YouTube, the SmackDown like highlight reel or the recap doesn't even show Cody running out at the end. It just shows Gunther choking out Nick Aldis.
Yeah, that's what I thought would happen.
Yeah, but yeah, Cody
And
came out and then like they announced the tag team match.
yeah, and
And
then when I was updating the notes, I was like, "What do you mean, Punk and Cody are getting a tag match versus Sammy and
yeah,
Gunther?" Like, just because they
they
didn't
didn't
show it on
announce
the show, it didn't
anything.
make sense to me. Like, how this got
Mm.
announced?
Yeah, they did a weird job with that. I think they
Okay,
mistimed the shit out of the show.
okay. So let's talk about this tag match real quick, and then we'll get into a couple other things. Real quick with Punk and Cody, I feel like Sammy and Gunther are gonna win that one.
Yeah,
And then who
I
do you
think
think
so.
turns on who? Do you think Cody or Punk turns?
I don't think it'll be a heel turn.
You don't
I
think
think they'll
so?
just lose it, and then we'll still just get face versus face at SummerSlam.
Okay. You don't think we're gonna get like an extra like story beat or twist here?
No, I think, but there's so little of time in between those
Mm,
two
that's true.
events. Yeah, 2 weeks. I don't think we get a heel turn because I don't think they build it up quick enough.
I think that's right.
Yeah, I don't know if we're ever gonna get the Cody Rhodes heel turn. I don't think we do. I think he
Because
stays babyface his entire career, pretty much.
yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, let's recap a little UFC. We were watching a little UFC last night, and then we'll talk a
Yeah,
little bit about some SummerSlam and match predictions. And oh boy, TKO is having a hell of a week there in terms of their just like because this was the follow-up to one of the most insane UFC events, because the one before this was the presidential one. Now, I've been following fights for a while, and we got the re-debut of Conor McGregor. There, in my mind, there was no fucking chance in hell that Conor was going to win this. He hadn't fought in 5 years, and last time he fought, he broke his shin. I can't remember what exactly bone that was, but that is a hard injury to come back from. Like, it was shattered.
Yeah.
So, and I do agree with you. This is probably one of the worst fights of all time. Like, this is just a complete sandbagging. Now, if you're a big UFC head, you will know that this is not the first time before that this has happened in the 2020s. TJ Dillashaw, or as we refer to him as TJ Pillshaw, because he used to do that, got popped for a bunch of PEDs,
Okay.
came into a title picture shot with a completely bum shoulder and literally told the ref, hey, if my shoulder gets out, I got a bum shoulder. Let me at least try to pop it back in before you call a match. And it lasted not even like a minute. And Aljamain certainly was like, dude, his shoulder's completely. I don't want to injure this man because he can't defend himself. And so they just called the fight, which I will say at least props on the refs and props on Max going like, dude, this guy can't fight. Like I
Yeah.
do not want to like do this.
Yeah. My biggest issue with it is that he was clearly hurt beforehand, and then there was tons and tons of money thrown on Max Holloway
Last
shortly
second.
before it. Yeah, Connor opened up. I don't know if it was a few. I didn't pay attention to the lines too much, but it was either yesterday or the day before. He was at like plus 185 to win, and then there was so much money put on Max Holloway that he ended at like plus 280.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is an insane line shift. That means there was an absurd amount of money thrown on Max Holloway. They even advertised on the fucking show, because TKO is TKO, that someone had just put down $900,000 on Max Holloway on Polymarket right before the match started.
Yeah. And Polymarket's very corrupt, not to get super political, but like
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
there's been a few whales that have been like betting on political things to happen, and it's the only thing they bet on. Like they don't lose anything. They just bet on
They're not
like
even hiding it
no.
that they're insider trading at this point.
Yeah, like that's fucking illegal. Now,
Even in my we'll dive in my other universe just for a split second. I'm a fucking reality TV fucking fiend. Big Brother, the reality TV show I watch, so they do live feeds, and there's this thing called the Power of Veto, and that's a competition to basically take it where you can't be eliminated. So the live feeds were cut. They don't show the competitions on the live feeds. They
makes
make you wait
sense.
for the TV show to watch it, so people still watch the show. And so this girl won it. Feeds were cut for about 2.5 hours, which is normal. And at feeds came back on, I think it was at 8:50. At 8:35 on call sheet, 15 minutes before feeds came up, you could bet on who was going to go home next. The girl who won the veto, 15 minutes before feeds came back up, someone dumped all of their shares in going home on her.
Oh, that's 100%. It's that
Yeah.
trader
Yeah,
trading.
that was a CBS employee. So like this shit just gotta stop. We gotta ban prediction markets. That's the only solution to this.
No, I completely agree with you because, like, I was talking with one of my buddies last night, and I was like, "Ah, fucking Connor got the Drake curse," and like, it was at the 280 odds. I didn't realize it went from like 230 to 280. Now, like,
Yeah,
I understand how like the betting lines work. How much of like a 50 shift is like a huge deal?
that's a
Like,
lot of money. That's a absurd amount of money. To shift like 100 odds is just hundreds of millions of dollars rolling in on the other side.
especially when it's not like a
I wonder
plus
if I can
500 or
find
something like that, where I feel like,
betting line. What's the fucking I don't want to spend too much time mulling on this, but I'm trying to find betting money sides McGregor. Do you see what I'm trying to
yeah, I
say?
see what you're trying to get at. Betting like lines besides McGregor and like because
I want to
that
know how much money was on McGregor. 85. Well, I don't know. Apparently. Okay, so here you go. The public money, 85% of bets were placed on McGregor. The sharp money, the larger individual wagers,
All on Holloway. Yeah.
Yeah. Odds movement. Despite the lopsided public action on McGregor, the odds have shifted in Holloway's favor. Yeah, like, yeah, it's rough.
I mean,
Like,
I will say, as someone who's fairly knowledgeable about fights and like I explained the situation to you, like I knew that as a fight fan. Now, don't get me wrong, Connor is like Ronda Rousey in terms of like they came up at the same time in terms of that mania and like the popularity and like.
his bets, and typically bets were going, they typically go more towards the underdog anyways, because you make more money when you bet on the underdog. So
Hmm.
that's why the public money, but that's why all of the whales money was on Holloway, though, is
Yeah.
because they knew, knowledgeable people who knew. And then plus they knew he was also fucking hurt. McGregor was.
Yeah, and like I mean, like listen, we were joking about this last night in our like chat where I'm like, he looked coked out of his fucking mind last night. Walking out to the ring, he had like a normal haircut, kind of like mine's like a little long right now, but he like shaved all of his hair that's like my length into a mohawk that just looked like he had his.
That was so douchey.
No, it wasn't even a good one. It just
No.
literally like that was. It's like he's like, hey, yeah, you know, man, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just shave my own hair, and he's just doing this.
He
Anytime you
looked like
see
he cut that
someone
hair himself.
put like an extreme overbite like that, that means they're coked out of their fucking mind.
Yeah.
And he was doing that on his walk back from the ring, and I'm like, oh, dude, this guy was just like, I'm just gonna do a bunch of blow. I'm gonna try some crazy shit here, running out, and we'll see what fucking happens. Now, no, he did land super awkwardly. I'm not
He
saying
did.
that like is he
He
definitely
felt
had a
very
minor injury, and then like he did some crazy cokehead shit and realized, hey, I'm 37 and not 25. And then
I don't
that's what
know.
happened. Also, they were
It
fighting at
just really
one thing to note is they were fighting at welterweight, which I thought was interesting because when I had looked it up previously, they were supposed to be fighting at lightweight. Now that's a 15-pound difference, which you're going from like 150 to 175. Now, like I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're carrying weight in and then not having to cut, and like you could tell that they had like a bit of fat hanging over their thing. So I'm like, oh, clearly he did not prep for this at all if he's
no.
fighting at welterweight because he used to be a featherweight and a lightweight were his main
Yeah.
titles, which is like 145 and 155.
Mm.
So it was just completely fucked. And then the co-main event was fucking sweet. I do jujitsu, as you can probably see by my belt too. And I know I've talked about it before on the pod. And Patty the Batty just darced the fucking piss out of
That was
Benoit Saint
fun.
Denis. So like that was at least a cool
That was
submission to
awesome.
happen. And
I saw a tweet that was like, fuck it, if Patty isn't blackout drunk already, roll him out there to fight Holloway right now. Let's do it.
I mean, yeah, someone saw that, or like, there's another big joke. They were Alexander Volkanovski would just show up on a last minute's notice, and it's just like Connor blew out his knee, and then we just hear the fucking Down Under song, but bam 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 bam, bam, and he just walks out
Yeah.
to the ring WWE style.
Yeah, like a run out. Yeah.
It was,
Max looked pissed.
yeah, you could tell he was very bummed. He's like, I trained all this fucking time, and I could have been doing something else. Because Max is a very legit, one of the best featherweights of all time. Probably only number two to Alexander Volkanovski, in my opinion. I mean, he knocked out Justin Gaethje, who's the current lightweight champion of the world.
Yeah.
Now, note he can probably just go challenge for the lightweight title right now because that's probably what they'll do. But
Yeah.
it's imagine putting in all that work and then just going, what the fuck? I mean, at least he got paid. That's probably the easiest fucking paid. I did see the ref whisper in his ears, like, "Hey, buddy, probably the easiest fucking payday of your life, right?" And you could just see him laughing when the ref told him that.
Yeah. I I do I think that, which I don't know fights and I don't know how close they are and how easy it would be to set this match up, but it seemed like Patty wanted to fight Holloway. Well, it seemed like after Patty won, he was like, I want the winner. I don't care if it's McGregor. I don't care if it's Max. I want the winner.
Hmm. You could pretty much so after fights you have to get medically cleared for your
Mm,
next like fight, so they'll give you like a certain like month medical suspension before you can fight again. But
mm.
because those guys took literally no fucking damage whatsoever, you could probably just have them
Probably
go
can
and
quick
fight
fight.
like in a month or so. I'll have to look at the cards and stuff because
Yeah.
usually those are booked
If
out for
there's
a
a big
while.
card coming up, yeah. I was just saying, like, he just kind of seemed like, I don't know how long it would take to get set up, and I don't know how close they are in weight classes, but it seems like that
They're
Patty really wants to fight Max Holloway.
Yeah, so they're both lightweights, so they're both in the
Okay,
same
so it
weight class.
works.
Yeah, so they're like Patty's normally a 155 or a lightweight, which is where Gaethje is, and that's where
Mhm.
Connor was fighting before he before he broke his shin.
Yeah.
So, and when I was looking online, it said it was at lightweight. So when I watched, it, I'm like, oh, when I saw the tail of the tape and it's at welterweight, I was like, oh, buddy, someone fucked up.
Yeah. Uh, and also, I think delivered the greatest post-fight speech I've ever heard in my entire
Oh, is that by
life.
Brandon Royval? I
Yeah,
had it up, I wasn't
that
paying
was
attention.
fucking hilarious.
Do you
This
wanna
man, he walks up. Joe goes, "How you feeling, man?" He goes, "I smoke rocks, Joe Rogan." Joe Rogan just, and then he goes, "I don't know why I said that shit, man."
I mean, like, it is funny because now that I've been getting into wrestling, and because I used to be into fighting for a very long time, and got it, and TKO owns both the UFC and WWE. It
Mhm,
is crazy to me how much the lines are blurring between the two products, and I think these fighters they're paid like shit,
mhm.
and so they're just trying to get their viral moment to
They're
kind of
trying
like,
to get their moment. I know 100% what he was doing, but the way he just like you saw the immediate regret on this man's face the second he said, "I smoke rocks, Joe Rogan."
amazing. That
What
did
a
get fight of the
line.
night. That was a good fight.
It was awesome.
So, uh, I smoke rocks. Reminds me, there's like a guy on there. I forget what his name is, but he did the Chiweewees thing, where he's like, "Oh, how are you feeling tonight?" He just went Chiweewees, and so people are just. I will say the last little wrestling comment before we get into our match predictions is that all I really wanted from that they played like a bumper for the video package for the McGregor and Max walkouts. All it really needed was "My Way" by Limp Bizkit, and that's a fucking wrestling WWE video package. Ugh.
Yeah, that was. I don't know. I actually enjoyed watching the event last night. I think I do enjoy it much better. Like I was with friends and we were
Oh
hanging
yeah,
out.
it's a much better social
I don't
experience.
know if I could just sit there alone and watch the UFC and actually enjoy it too much.
I was watching with you. Friends makes it better just because you can get a little
Yeah,
more into it, and if you have someone around you that's knowledgeable, especially when it comes
yeah.
to grappling, that
Mhm.
makes a lot more. So
And that
like,
helps. Yeah, I was sitting with Kale, and he's watched like for years, or I don't think he's watched as much recently, but he used to watch a lot. And like I asked a lot about like some of the grapples and
hmm
that fucking who was it? I forget which match it was, but there was like he extended the dude's leg
oh, Corey
and just
Sandhagen, Mario
completely
Batista, yeah, that he got caught
yeah.
in a gnarly knee bar
That was a crazy like just
scramble.
grapple.
Yeah,
And it's like, oh wow, he just destroyed that man's leg. Like
Ye-
he destroyed it.
yeah. I don't think anything got torn just based on how he's moving, but he definitely like hyperextended his knee.
Yeah, I don't think it tore anything either, especially because by the third round it kind of looked a little better,
hmm
even though he kind of got dog walked that third round.
He
But
did.
it's still like he definitely fucked his knee up
Yeah,
bad,
no.
which he won the second
Uh,
round with the fucked up knee, which was quite impressive.
Yeah, no, Corey Sandhagen's an excellent striker. And,
He
like he
probably
won't.
wins that fight if he doesn't get his knee fucked up.
No, 100%. I also think Mario Batista kind of gassed himself and was just diving for that finish there in the first round, and then probably like, I need to regain my cardio and not fucking die right now. Let me
Mhm.
just point battle, which is what they do a lot of the time, and just not die.
Yeah,
But I'm
but
glad you've
we can
been
get our
enjoying.
predictions going.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're enjoying the UFC. Maybe we'll do a live stream on here for the next cards coming up, because
Maybe.
maybe we'll see. The live
Maybe.
stream's been
It
hit.
depends. It helps when I know the names. I don't know all of the names. I know Max Holloway. I know Patty. Like, I obviously
Let's see what the
know
next.
Conor McGregor.
Let me see what the next big fight little event here is, and then I'll tell you if there's any good ones coming up. Um, let me see. Let's see, guys. That is 229. Oh, the next one will actually be kind of interesting. So that one's on August 15th, and we got Islam Makhachev versus Ian Machado Gary. Now, Ian Gary gets a lot of heat online because his wife was still his wife has a boyfriend is the way I'll put it there, and so people like yeah, people like roasted
Wait,
the
so he's like Polly?
yeah, he was in like a poly relationship and like it was his nutritionist was his wife's ex-husband, but he was still around. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So people were like it was a wild thing.
I wonder how often that does that get brought up in promos or like
Oh,
press stuff
all the
a lot of
time.
times. Yeah.
Yeah.
I call them promos, but it's not a promo, it's press.
I
It's
mean,
weird.
they're pretty much promos. They're trying to sell the
Yeah.
fights. So, speaking of selling fights, we got Saturday night's main event coming up in a week and
Go through these.
Saturday.
Go through these kind of quick.
Oh yeah, and then I
I
got to talk about my house show I'm going to tonight.
yeah, I think the Saturday night main events. I have two predictions what those matches are going to be, and I think that that's probably right. I don't really see too much else.
I could see, and the only thing I think I would swap out is maybe we do the men's IC title instead of Corbin and Trick. That's the only
Yeah.
thing I could see swapping.
So the three confirmed are Danhausen and JD. I don't know how fucking serious of a match this is, or I don't know.
Well,
Brian Page versus Fatal Influence, and then of course the main event's gonna end up being Cody and Punk versus Gunther and Sammy. My predictions for the last two are Corbin and Trick, and then Sol and Raquel.
I think that makes a lot of sense. It'll move a lot of stories forward. I think, honestly, in my opinion, with like the predictions, I think JD and Danhausen is going to be a bigger match than a lot of people are expecting. The only reason I bring that up is because I'm going to a house show tonight. And Danhausen, it's changed to be one of the featured acts on there. And my wife, big Kit Wilson fan. Kit Wilson's in New Mexico right now because they're doing 2 house shows this weekend in New Mexico. So Kit Wilson will probably be there. So I'm assuming because Kit Wilson's mind controlled by Danhausen, that we're just going to have a crazy bonkers, just tons of run-ins match between Danhausen and JD. It'll be in New York. That makes sense to me to be the co-main because of how much he did with the Knicks and how much of a pop he's going to get.
Yeah, I think they're gonna open the show,
Oh, I could see them opening the show too.
which I guess in a sense is almost like a co-main event for WWE since they do typically do the second match first or the second best match first,
Yeah.
which
I
is of course like different from other wrestling or fighting things.
I think Sol and Raquel makes sense, or another women's IC challenger in case they don't want to run back Raquel since she did get
Mhm.
pinned clean. I could see like maybe Roxanne instead of Raquel.
Yeah.
But that to me makes the most sense, or the women's United States title. But I think
It feels
Fate,
like Soul is just a very like person that in my opinion, you would want on Saturday Night Main Event as like
especially
a
because it's at the
future
Garden.
upcoming. Yeah, like I would if I'm WWE, the woman that's coming up that I want to showcase the most is Soul Ruka.
I agree with that. I feel like for me, honestly, yeah, Trick should be on here again because he's like another big guy and he should
And
be.
kind of like same sense. I know they're not like it seems like they're not gonna rocket ship Trick as much.
Hmm.
Like I think Javon is going to take a step over Trick here very soon,
I
and
could
of
see
course
that.
Oba's to the fucking moon.
I get
But
to
I
see Oba
think they're
tonight, which I'm
building
so.
Trick very, very well as a character. I
Hmm.
really love Trick Williams as a character, so I think it's smart to have him on SNME.
Hmm. I think also Fatal Influence gets those tag titles to that side.
Yeah, 100%. I am so. Why the fuck do Brie? I forgot about the women's titles actually.
Well, also we need Fatal Influence needs to gain some heat. Paige needs to be a single star so she can go feud with somebody. And, we can put the Bella Twins back together. They're the Bella Twins. They can challenge whenever for those goddamn tag titles.
Yeah, they unfortunately also have that mist that I think is a little less earned than the guys we were talking about earlier, but that's a whole other conversation, I guess.
Yeah, that is. All right, so then moving on to SummerSlam. We got also the reason why I think Seth's gonna win here. I know I'm all over the place. Is Seth and Oba are supposed to be featured, and they've been having a lot of house match at dark shows, so that makes me think that like we're gonna get Oba and Seth after SummerSlam if they're working together so much.
Hmm.
with those crowds. So to me, that just makes the
Yeah.
most sense.
I don't
So
know. I've never really paid attention to how much those like dark shows play into like stuff they're doing in the future.
I know sometimes we'll just get a lot of working together and kind of building stuff because I
Yeah.
know like Liv did a bunch of stuff with Sol Ruka on the house
Okay.
shows. So,
Interesting.
so the only confirmed matches we have right now, we got four. We got Cody and Punk, we got Seth and Roman, Liv and Io, Brock and Oba. My next prediction is Jade and Charlotte, like we just talked about. Rhea's probably going to relinquish that title at this point,
I think
or
so.
they're holding on to dear fucking life. She can
I think
reappear.
it's, but I think you're still right in Jade and Charlotte. I think that maybe there's just, maybe Rhea's just added. I think Jade and Charlotte face off at SummerSlam in some capacity.
We either do them straight up or we add Rhea in as a triple threat because we've
Yeah.
already seen Rhea and Jade and we don't need that again. And like, there's some stuff there. I think Aldous and Gunther makes a ton of sense there. That'll be an easy slam
There's
dunk.
no other reason Gunther would have slept him the other day, I guess, right? Like,
Yeah,
I
he
don't
put him
know.
in the sleeper,
And surely, God, we're not wasting Saturday, one of the 5 Saturday night main event matches on this.
I mean, also Gunther already has a match on Saturday night's main event.
Oh
He's got
yeah,
the
da da da.
yeah.
Yeah, he's tag team. I also apparently though Nick Aldis is a really good wrestler.
Oh yeah, no,
So
apparently he's
I'm
really good.
excited to see.
Yeah, I think that's a fun thing to do there. It'll be cool. And then we got Seth and Roman. We already talked about it. We got Brock and Nova, Hell in a Cell. Now, as much as we know this is not going to main event, as much as it should, do you
You mean
think,
like main event night 2?
or even night one? I don't even think it's going to main event night one. If you want me to be
I think
honest,
it definitely will.
you don't. You
I
think?
would go to bet. I want to go. I'm not gonna do this right now. I would bet there hasn't been very many Hell in a Cells in history that haven't been the main event.
Well, usually Hell in a Cell is its own pay per view.
No, it hasn't been like that in a long time.
Well, I mean, like previously, they haven't done a Hell in a Cell in a few years. They usually do steel cage matches, and those are in the middle of the show. I don't
Yeah,
think.
but they still Hell in a Cell was only a pay per view for a few years. Hell in a Cell has still been a wrestling
Oh, that's
match
true.
since like 19. It says 1997.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
that
that's
was
when
the
Mick
first
Foley got
one.
thrown off the cage and nearly died.
Well, in '97, no, that was Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. Mick
Okay.
Foley wasn't until a few later. But let me see. I'm just gonna say, yeah. God, hold on. Events. I'm gonna look. There's only been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14 of the 54 Hell in a Cells have been at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
Okay.
Yeah. So it isn't. God damn, Undertaker was in 14 Hell in a Cells.
I mean, he is Undertaker. That's kind of the
Yeah.
gimmick. I am supernatural. I will bring you down to hell.
Yeah, but so I wish it could tell me what the main event, like if it was main evented or not. But I would go to say
It probably should.
that like 90% of Hell in a Cells have main evented in some capacity.
You know, and also if you think about the ticket sales and everything, how do you sell tickets for night one? Brock and Nova's main eventing night one. It's Hell in a Cell. That's
I
and like
think Cody and Punk open night too.
that makes a lot of sense because you'll get that on ES because we know that with first hours are going to be on ESPN.
Well, fuck. Actually, no, that makes me think maybe the Hell in a Cell won't be on. Maybe I keep forgetting about the first hour ESPN shit.
Well, here's the other thing. When they did Clash in Italy, the Brock and Oba rematch, that was not on ESPN. Everybody keeps saying they've all been on ESPN, but the second one wasn't. It was the first match after ESPN.
I'm just concerned they're going to. Why was
Well,
there a 5-minute Hell in a Cell match? It was a dark match. Okay. Anyway,
how
I
does that
just
work?
I don't know. John Cena won it. Yeah. Wrestling used to be so much better. Anyways,
Sorry.
fucking.
Someone clip
I don't
that.
know. Would they show a Hell in the Cell on ESPN?
Well, then it's going to turn into Hate in a Crate.
Yeah. Will they say Hell in a Cell on? I bet.
Well, it's ESPN's owned by the mouse, you see, and we can't be having blood on our ESPN live show here because kitties watch ESPN.
I don't know where that's coming from.
That's just me being South Park referencing Mickey
I was gonna
Mouse.
say because the blood thing was Netflix. That wasn't
Oh,
ESPN.
okay. Well,
Yeah,
this is me just being a jackass then and looking like a
yeah.
fool, but
I was gonna
that's
say I'm
okay.
pretty sure there's been fights on ESPN.
Yeah, no, there've been bloody fights on ESPN. I mean, I think to get the time that it needs to be the main event. And like we have been
No, because it should be a half-hour match.
oh yeah, it's got to be a long. Also, the other thing is too, they had to clean up after that. So you,
Well, I don't know if will Brock bleed. I don't know if he still do that. I don't know if they're gonna be bloody in this match. Still,
I could see
I'd want a
Brock.
Hell in the Cell to be bloody, but I
I
don't
could
know if it
see
will.
Brock being bloody because he's probably signed a 1 year contract from SummerSlam
Mhm.
last year, and this is his final match. If he's doing Hell in a Cell, that man's probably trying to put Oba over to the fucking moon.
That's true.
So, and Brock has been putting Oba to the over to the fucking moon, and so I mean, I feel like it should be a good match. Now, like the keyword there is it should be.
Should
And if it was up to me, given the circumstances, this should be the night one main event.
I would? I agree.
Because there's no way, and I feel like you get Cody and Punk to open up night one, that is going to sell you so many tickets night one. Because everybody's going to go see Roman already on night two. Like that's
Mhm.
so. And then let's get into a couple other predictions, and then we can wrap this bad boy up. You got Penta. I feel like the Penta title will probably be defended. Do you think we get a crazy ladder
Yeah,
match? We got to have a ladder match. I feel like, or something like crazy else going on.
I don't know. I don't think.
Oh yeah, we got
I
Hell in
think
a
Hell in
Cell.
the Cell is gonna be our main attraction for
All
sure.
right. You know
I
what?
could see there being some kind of like no DQ match for the IC title or something, like
No,
a
that'd be.
street fight.
What would you call it? A Twin City street fight?
Yeah, whatever the fuck they want to call it these days. They
Uh,
can't just call it a fucking street fight.
it's a Twin City street fight going across the river.
Yeah,
Um,
douches.
which tag titles do you think get defended and when? Because we don't have any men's tag titles.
That's true. I imagine the Vision get a match on SummerSlam. Brock Braun Breaker is definitely going to be at SummerSlam.
Okay, I can see that one.
With
Who?
how serious? I can't remember how serious Logan Paul's injury was.
It's pretty serious. He like just
Yeah,
he
he
tore his
won't be
bicep.
back in time. Yeah,
No,
no.
no
Okay,
way. He's just there because he brings up the Vision so much in terms of his just like charismatic, like I'm a shitty person kind of work. You know what? Ooh, this is my prediction. We get the Vision versus Otis and Tozawa because Otis is also from like South Dakota.
yeah. I was actually just getting ready to say I don't know if they would put the Alpha Babes on SummerSlam. I could see them just like still beefing with the Street Profits.
Yeah, I
I don't
know.
know if that's dead or not.
I think it's we'll have to see what happens on Raw next week or tomorrow. And
Yeah,
I
that's
think
gonna be really big for those tag titles. I think
yeah,
next week.
I think that's where I'm kind of like stuck in limbo because like we got our like the big matches all announced there, but like the it should be 7 and 7 because that's what they did last year.
It
Now
should.
this is the only stipulation is like we've been talking about a lot is this going to be for the fans or is this going to be WrestleMania 42 Part 2 and it's just
Yeah, ads.
ads. And I think that's for you and I is going to be a big make or break moment on our enjoyment of the product.
Yeah, the SummerSlam matters a lot to me.
Yeah. So, but just to wrap things up here, I am excited. We are going. I'm going to a house show
I want to go
tonight.
back real quick. I want to see the Alpha Babes at SummerSlam. I just don't think they would put them on there over the Street Profits if given the chance.
I think the only reason why you do it is just because of Otis and Chad Gable. Like if it's like let's say Chad Gable loses that gauntlet match and the number one contendership is for a SummerSlam match, you get him tagging up with the
I promise Chad Gable is not going to be in a tag match with the Alpha Babes at all.
let me think
I
about it, Kershaw. I'm gonna
promise.
make it come into an existence.
No.
Remember, good things happen to those
You
that
have to
wait.
throw one of the two fan favorites aside to do that.
You can
People
make
love
it.
Tozawa. People love Otis.
I mean, you could always just
There's
make it a triple
no
threat.
shot in hell that Chad Gable. Not for the
ooh.
tag titles, you can't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You get Bronson Reed back, you get the Vision versus the Alpha Babes with Chad Gable.
That wouldn't even kind of be Chad Gable. If Chad Gable, oh my monitor just shut off.
I know you're
Never mind.
you're still there.
It still
I
works
got
fine.
you
Okay,
recording
then I'll
good.
just keep talking.
Yeah, we can just keep
Uh,
talking.
Chad Gable, if they put him back in the tag title scene, they ruin every bit of momentum they just did for him. That
That's a good
makes
point.
0 sense.
Okay, you know what? You know what?
I promise my life that Chad Gable is not going back to the tag title scene if he was
Okay.
ever even there.
Do you want to bet a guitar through a TV on it?
No, I don't own a guitar. I don't own a TV I can break.
All right. All right. I got a house show coming up tonight. I'll probably be posting some pictures and videos from it just to make some little extra content because pretty good lineup. We got Punk, Cody, Gunther, Danhausen, Seth Rollins, and Obafemi are supposed to be there, and they said Charlotte Flair is also supposed to be there. From what
No
I'm
Roman Reigns?
no, do you think Roman Reigns is going to come to Albuquerque, New Mexico? No, Roman Reigns is not coming to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Roman Reigns doesn't even show up to Raw half the fucking time. He's not coming to a dark show in New Mexico on a Sunday.
Oh man, good times.
If he does, I will be shocked. And I will record it. I mean, you know what?
And then they'll probably take you out back and kill you because they can't have any proof that Roman Reigns was at a house show.
Or, I mean, I don't know what I would be more mad about is if the Usos or Roman Reigns showed up. Because if I just hear all of a sudden, Uso! And then just
there's a hell of a lot more chance the Usos show up.
That's true. Well, I mean, at least
it's just a house show.
That's true. All right, we're gonna wrap it up here. Next week we should be. Let's see. Do you want? We're gonna wrap it up here, and we will see you all next time. I'll post something on the old YouTubes about when our next episode is gonna be. We'll probably do a Saturday Night main event recap. We may do a live stream. Not too sure yet, but we will see you all next time.